What's going on, everybody? Before I start this video, I just wanted to go ahead and apologize in advance. During the recording of this video, I was dealing with some allergies, so there's definitely a bit of sniffling happening while recording the audio for this. So I hope you guys still enjoy it anyway, and let's just get into the video. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the third episode of my Dynamite Dunes park playthrough. I haven't done one of these in a while, mainly because I'm not very good at it. I'm just better at building in sandbox mode, if I'm honest. But I wanted to go ahead and finish up this park, just get it done, and that's what this third episode is going to be. I think in the last one I had mentioned that I'm going to split this series up by year. So the first episode was year 1, this second episode was year 2, this one will be year 3, and that's where we're starting off here, is the beginning of year 3. So the main thing I needed to do at the beginning was a lot of my rides were like hella expensive, so I had to lower the prices a little bit because everybody was running out of cash in my park. So I went ahead and did that. I lowered the prices by a couple bucks just to keep people coming in. That was just to make sure that the guests keep coming in. The other thing I needed to do was actually, I realized partway through this that at the rate I was going, I wasn't actually going to finish the scenario and beat it in time. So I actually had to just kind of just step on the gas and start building more rides because it was getting dicey there for a minute where I was like at the end of year 2, and I think I had like 500 guests, and you need 750 by year 3. So I wanted to make sure that I absolutely got as many guests as I needed, and I wanted to make sure that I built enough rides to make sure that I'd have enough guests in the park. And yeah, so that's a lot of what's happening here. I did kind of mess with some scenery, but this part of the episode was a lot of building rides, just not spamming, but throwing in a lot more rides than I did in the last couple of episodes. I made sure to expand the park also, just to make sure it didn't get overcrowded. The one thing that for some reason, I'm just so bad at in this game is just remembering to put bathrooms everywhere and remembering to put like food and drink stalls. I just can't. I never learned my lesson that you just cannot have enough of those things. And I've got multiple messages throughout this playthrough that people can't find your bathrooms and people can't find your food, and I won the worst food award, and that is very disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. So I went ahead and built this junior coaster, and I had a 3D cinema that I built earlier, and going forward after this once this episode's over, I think I'm gonna try and kind of try a different strategy in terms of trying to make stuff look a little bit more realistic in the future. I've been watching some RCT Classic YouTubers, and they had some pretty cool tricks that they used to make things look a little bit better. Because unfortunately, you can't get away with the same stuff that you can when you're playing open RCT2. So I wanted to make sure that I got that I got a realistic look, but again, you can't really use the same methods in Classic. So I went ahead and just tried to do something different. One of the things I definitely did was messing with the land, using land editing tools to to make stuff make it a little bit easier and make it look a little bit more natural looking, especially because you can't really build stuff on slopes is one thing that you can do in open RCT2, but you cannot do in this game. It's very, very difficult. So that was the main thing in this. And then the other part of this was I had to expand the park quite a bit. So you can see I'm building a bunch of pathways around the park just to get rid of the overcrowding issue. And yeah, I'm starting to get towards the end of the playthrough here, where I just kind of threw in a merry-go-round, just because the more rides you build, the more guests will show up, as long as you are actively making sure your park is clean and you're actively making sure that there's not vomit everywhere, and that you have bathrooms and food stalls and drink stalls. As long as the guests are happy and you keep building rides, then more people will show up. But the main thing is you have to just keep building rides, which is actually something that I didn't know when I used to play the game as a kid. I didn't know that the building rides was such a huge quotient of generating guests. I didn't know that those were directly proportional, but turns out they are. So I kind of didn't focus in as much on the scenery. I tried to build a little bit of scenery, you know. And you'll see that's the beginning of the big scenery reveal now. Is I use the Egyptian wall pieces on pretty much every pathway in the park for the most part. And I thought it just kind of gave it a little bit like cool. It gave it a look that I thought that kind of fit into the scenario, and it made it look pretty good. And I just thought that it was a decent. It made it look better. I'm not sure why. I don't do this in most of the parks that I build in Open RCT2, but in Classic I've done it multiple times, and it just always looks better. I don't know why, but I guess something about the mechanics of the game. It's something different. I don't know. But as you can see, I'm just the rest of this playthrough. So as you can see, I'm like almost 900 guests in, and you only need 750 by the end of year 3. So I was essentially just maintaining the park. I built a couple more food stalls, a few more restrooms, and just tried to keep that park rating up and tried to make sure that all of my rides didn't break down and made sure nothing crashed. And I just kept building. I built 3 more rides. I think I built this bumper cars. It's called Dodgems. That's a weird name, but I'm sorry. If you're from the UK, I'm sure it's called It's called Dodgems, but in the US, it's called bumper cars. I'm sure that sounds stupid too, but I shouldn't make fun because bumper cars is a dumb name, but whatever. Anyway, so I built this mini roller. I finally got a mini roller coaster that looks actually has. Honestly, I'll be honest. I had a lot of roller coasters with terrible stats. Like, they would have, like, an excitement rating of, like, 2 or 1 even, like 1.5. But people still rode them, so I was like, okay, I guess I can live with it. If they have the intensity rating would be, like, 2.5 and excitement rating of 1. But as long as people are riding them and as long as you can charge, like, $4 for it, I was okay with it. As you can see, I have $32,000 at this point, so. And I was making more money than I was spending, even as I'm placing scenery everywhere, so it's really no big deal. It's really just I need to generate the guests. That's really all I was focusing on at this point. And as you can see, I'm in October of year 3 at this point, and after I built these stalls, there wasn't really much else to do, so I just fast-forwarded till the end. I'm like at October 15th at this point. So literally 15 days left in the year, and I just threw in some shrubs and some cacti and pretty much called it a day. This is pretty much the finished product. You can see me fast forwarding through the end of the year, and there it is. I finally won the Dynamite Dunes playthrough. It's 650. I thought it was 750. All right, well, it turns out I didn't need to build as many rides as I did, and literally I didn't even read this as I won the game. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, I guess. Thank you guys for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, and I guess that's going to be it for me. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.